Okay, our guest today, you may know him on Instagram as Welsh vegan allotment holder because he is Welsh, he's vegan and he's got an allotment. But we know him as one of our top fans, Dave from Cardiff. Welcome.
Hey, woo! Thanks for having me. Cheers.
It's very exciting
Finally.
because we've been messaging back and forth for what feels like ages. And I think it was back July last year. So it's been nearly a year since we started messaging back and forth. So it's very exciting to finally get to talk to you.
Yeah, well, I found your podcast a few episodes in, I think, for the fourth or fifth, I think it was.
That's it.
Back in the early days.
Yeah, they were early days. Sad to say, we still don't know what we're doing, but we're having a good go. Tell us, Dave, about allotments, because your Instagram is full of progress on your allotment. I just saw that you've taken on one next to the one that you've got already.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic, the amount of produce that you get from it.
Well, it's normally with the six, there's more failures than successes half the time, But it's normally just courgettes, broad beans, and onions, and there's things that work and there's things that don't. It's all part of the fun, But yeah, I don't know if you've seen my wildlife pond on Instagram as well. On the new plot.
Looks amazing.
You see that at all?
Yeah.
I got an old Belfast sink from work because I'm a plumber. So I got a Belfast sink, and there's another container as well next to it, and I just potted it up the weekend.
Oh, brilliant! So what are you hoping to see in there? What wildlife?
Well, there's frogs already down the allotment. There's loads of frogs already. You just walk past, down the path, and they're just in the long grass.
Wow.
And there's a pond next on the plot next to me. Actually, there's a pond there, so I'm probably just nicking his things really. It's not that far from where I got this pond. So whatever animals want to can come. There's foxes down there. It's just a haven for wildlife. There's sparrowhawks. There's slow worms.
Wow.
Oh, I haven't seen any newts, but with a bit of luck, obviously we'll see newts. But there's all sorts of birds. It's brilliant, when you it goes to show if you give them somewhere, if you just a little acre is on the plots, on the plots as a whole.
Yeah.
It goes to show, the wildlife will come.
How do you find the weather
at the moment?
Yeah, like with climate change and all the stuff that's going on with the cold weather and rain that we're currently getting. How's that faring for you?
No, terrible. It's just, obviously it's global warming, but it's actually, it feels like it's cold. I mean, it was about 5 degrees the other night.
Yeah.
It got down to, so all the stuff is slow, it's taking a while to grow. Whereas normally in fact, like potatoes, I look back, from my pictures from last year, and I was already harvesting potatoes, but they've been decimated by slugs because of all the weather, all the rain.
Yeah.
And it's been a mild winter as well. So and everyone else on Instagram, that I follow gardening wise, it's the same with them. There's just slugs galore everywhere. It is playing havoc, I think, with the seasons, and so you can't plan, because like last year I was thinking, I put my stuff in too late, and because we had that nice June, and then this year, like I wish I held off, putting things out, because you're putting things out and then they're getting stripped by slugs, or it's just not growing because it's just so cold.
Yeah,
so that's what So I'm no expert on, I just wing it really with gardening. I've always done gardening, but my father had an allotment, so I've always done it, but I'm no expert on it. But what I can see is it's just, you just don't know what to do really when it comes to planting times and everything.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how did you get into allotmenting? Is that a thing? How did you get into having an allotment?
Allotmenteering.
Allotmenteering.
Yeah,
Okay.
my dad, he had an allotment, yeah. So I was down there helping him out and everything, and and I've always just dabbled a bit in the garden, growing lettuce and salads and whatever, just having a go. It just varies from year to year what I fancy growing, really. But that's the fun of it.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
Try something new. If it works, great. If it doesn't, well, don't try it next time. That sort of thing.
yeah, that's it. Because some things, in certain soils don't grow as well anyway. So
Yeah.
so
All right. What's been the most successful crop that you've had then?
onions are pretty good. They're not doing too bad, even though the slugs are so desperate they're eating the onions this year, and they've been on the rhubarb.
Wow.
Normally pretty good with onions. It's normally, and then I got enough onions for a good few months normally into the winter then.
Wow.
Garlic normally is all right, but then they're a bit pissy this year, a bit small. So and they've got this thing called rust. And again, people on Instagram seem to have the same thing. It looks like rust basically on the leaves.
Right.
It gets covered in all this brown, like it's like a mildewy type thing, I think. And then they just can't, it just won't photosynthesize, and the bulb end is tiny.
Wow.
So yeah, but onions, sweet corn's pretty good. Potatoes, it's always pretty good with potatoes. Yeah. Squashes are pretty good. Courgettes I get tons of. Beans as well. Like French beans, climbing French beans. Just picking them for months and they're brilliant.
Oh wow.
That's
Well,
amazing.
how's your son getting on, Wes, with
He's doing really well, bless him. He's still out there every morning, every evening, moving things about,
good.
stroking the leaves, weeding, talking to
Yeah.
them. He's
Covering all bases.
Yeah, he's loving it, and he's got. I mean, you name a vegetable, he's got it down there. I mean, you mentioned squashes there. He ain't got them.
They take a lot of room.
Yeah, and he's already. I think he was quite surprised about the spacing for like lettuce and broccoli, which makes sense when you think about it. But he was like, "Oh my God, it's taken up my whole bed." I wasn't planning on that. But everything he's planted is growing, so it's like he's getting there. Bless him.
Yeah. Oh, bro. It's a good hobby.
Yeah, I can't believe it's fit. Like I've said before, he's well, coming up to 16 years old, rock metal guitarist, legend, and then suddenly he's into gardening.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you crack on, mate. You crack on. I'd rather you were doing that than down the park drinking White Lightning.
Not
Oh
really.
yeah.
So,
Oh
yeah.
dear. Oh, he might be brewing his own hooch in the shed, Wes. You don't know.
It's a good point. I might go and check actually. Yeah. God.
Rhubarb wine or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I done that last year actually.
Did you?
Yeah.
Thing was
Yeah,
it?
it's
Was
a
it
bit
as
rough.
disgusting as it sounds, or was it all right?
It's not the best. It's all right. I used to do blackberry wine's pretty good.
Oh, okay.
That's a bit sweet.
Right.
Well, you can make it as sweet as you like, I suppose. But I always used to make that years ago, actually. But I don't drink it. I hardly drink anymore, so it's not much point me doing it.
No,
But,
no, you just end up with load of wine bottles full of wine that you're not going to drink everywhere, and then end up chucking it away.
Just vinegar then.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Brilliant. Okay. All right, Dave, tell us about your vegan story.
Right. Well, yeah, I've always just had the standard diet. When I was a kid, I used to have it was either a pork chop or a chicken portion or something, veg or the usual things, spaghetti bolognese, beef stews. So it's never there's no sort of vegetarian or vegan sort of background there. But and then there's and before I sort of discovered Earth and Net, many years ago, I was like, there's lots of things on TV at one point there seemed to be. I don't know if you guys watched like there was a thing called Kill It, Cook It, Eat It.
Ooh,
You ever see that?
don't like the sound of that.
I think I remember hearing about it. I don't think I watched
Yeah,
it.
it was on BBC. It was, yeah,
Right.
and it showed them in the story. They actually had pictures and the cameras in the slaughterhouse. Like, it was allowed. It wasn't undercover footage. And they showed them slaughter. Obviously, it was the best. Well, not the best, is it really? But the animals getting killed. But it was sort of obviously controlled conditions and everything. And then he had a sort of audience, and as people discussing it, like Kilroy sort of thing. So there's programs like that, and there's one with Jamie Oliver as well, and he showed them live gassing chicks. It was on the TV. You probably didn't miss all this.
Yeah.
This was probably 15, maybe a bit less, 15 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And like River Cottage, I used to follow River
Yeah.
Cottage and things like that. So I had a bit of an interest in where food came from, but I was always on the stance, I was always on the sort of the viewpoint that you raise the animals good and all this crap. Because so anyway, basically, obviously, I'm into my garden and everything, and so I had chickens then to lay eggs.
Right.
So that was that as well. So, but anyway, so like I was saying, I had a bit of an interest. Anyway, it's not as if I was blind to, what went on really. But then you probably discover it then, don't you? So anyway, yeah, I was just on YouTube on my phone in work, and then Earth and Ed's video came up.
Right.
Like Earth and Ed's speech, like it was something like, "Oh, this speech will change your mind forever," or something like that. A bit like the Gary Yourofsky one.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
So it was. So I watched that, and yeah, so I ended up watching various other ones, that came up. So I presume I think it was Joey Carbstrong as well, and more Earth and Ed ones. And so I couldn't. So basically, I couldn't, justify. I thought, well, you got to be, if there's no reason to not to be, if you should, you should be kind to animals. So why are we doing it for? So I had no excuse not to go vegan really, and so it was about 3.5 years ago that was.
Love
So
it.
yeah, so it was the beginning. It was like January. So in our house, we decided to go vegan. Well, it was a bit of a rocky start, but we basically stuck to it. Most of us, not all of us, some of us. All the family are vegetarian at least, and then there's a few of us that are vegan.
Brilliant.
So so I mean, it took me a month or so to properly. There's a few bits like corn roast and like when I was in people's houses, because I say I'm a plumber, do bathrooms mainly. But I just, because I weren't used to asking for stuff and saying, look, I got soy milk, I'll bring my own. I was just having milk for my tea and things like that. But once you get used to doing that sort of thing, it's not. I didn't find it too bad. It's just a case of, it was about a month or maybe just over a month, and then I was like, I'll just take milk to work, and I'll say, if anyone asks me if they want a cup of tea, I'll just say, look, can I have a black? And I got my own soy milk in the van.
Love it. That's one of the only positive things about social media, I think, is that when you click on one video, like the Earthly Ned video, the algorithm then gives you all the stuff that's the same to take you down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly,
Like it's it can be on rare occasions a really positive thing of taking you from one video to the next that really helps you take that step.
I mean, sometimes it's crap because you might click on something you don't want to watch. You're just a bit intrigued, sort of thing, or what you're on about because it's sort of clickbaity or whatever. And then you end up getting swamped with all the other bloody the same shit. Then you don't want to watch, like
yeah.
Because YouTube, you only ever used to what I went on social media until like it was until I had the allotment basically, which was 2022, the end of 2022. But I didn't bother, so but it was always just YouTube and but yeah.
Yeah.
It's
The worst for me was when my especially my daughter didn't have her own YouTube account and used to use mine. And then all the stuff that you get up is like
oh
Peppa
yeah,
Pig and Ben and Holly and stuff like that, and some weird
yeah,
person screaming, and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
yeah.
And
But,
then they like the video. They like the video on YouTube. So that's all your feed is like
yeah,
kids
exactly.
stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
really?
Because
Come
you
on.
like this, you might like, I don't know, Charlie's
I think
Crafty Kitchen
I
or
don't
something.
think you I don't think I will like it, thanks.
No.
Yeah. So what do you think, what do you feel was the hardest thing for you when you made that change?
Well, as most people seem to say, is people.
Mm,
To be fair, with like YouTube, with obviously I was watching YouTube and well, yeah, YouTube pretty much videos. You look at the comment section, you think every bug is going to be like this,
yeah.
because you use all the trolls and everything, and you think, oh God, you think what's it going to be like when I tell people? But I have had some knobs, but but generally it's been all right, to be honest. But it's just the hardest thing is knowing, that people are still ignorant to it all.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I've not struggled. I mean, to be fair though, I mean, I've never been fussy with food, so I mean, it's I haven't really found that a struggle. I'm in fact, I'm eating better than I ever had. You discover all the different foods, and it's like you're not missing anything.
That's it.
But
Yeah. What's the
yeah, so I mean, yeah, just knowing that there's these sort of troll type people, and they're so adamant,
hmm,
they're just keen on the bacon, and that's it.
Yeah.
but bacon though. What's the
Yeah.
vegan scene like in Cardiff, Dave? I've not been there as a vegan. What's it like? I'm saying
Um,
Cardiff. I'm not saying Cardiff because you're Welsh, but I know that's where you live. I'm not just saying.
yeah, in Cardiff. I'm trying to. I mean, a lot of it's outside. I think right? There are some in the centre, but I tend not to go, so I wouldn't really know. And there's a few around the sort of studenty places. I did go to one. I think that shut down, but you won't. You won't struggle to find vegan food like anywhere else. Really, most places got options, but I don't know. There's a lot of them seem to be outside. I don't know if that's maybe the cost of renting places and
Hmm.
this sort of thing.
Yeah.
But like you probably know that the Queen Inn,
Hmm.
that's not too far from Cardiff. So the better places are just outside really. But yeah, it's a few dotted around. I don't think it's like Bristol or anything, or is
Okay.
it Bournemouth? Is it Bournemouth? I think it is, or Brighton.
Brighton.
Brighton
Yeah.
Brighton,
is
yeah.
supposed to be really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brighton and
So,
Bristol are supposed to be amazing, aren't they?
But yeah, I mean, I went to Carmarthen for a little hot tub break sort of thing last weekend. And I was surprised to see there's a little pop-up vegan place in the centre there. I mean, that's like farming country, isn't there? Carmarthen
Mm.
Shoei.
mm,
And well, that was pretty much, yeah, there was a place I seen saying selling vegan bits, but yeah, it's just not. Oh, I'll tell you what I did see in Carmarthen actually. Yeah, it was I did put it up on Instagram as it was on a story. It was at I don't know if it's like a church thing, but it was or Buddhist it might have been, but it was like a stall and saying like live vegan, and it was like there was leaflets and little booklets and everything. But I was like, there was no one there. I was going to go and talk to him, but there was no one. There was no one at the stall. I kept passing it, and there was no one there. But it was outside the butchers. It was as well,
oh,
and
brilliant.
there's quite a
Did
few
you?
butchers in Carmarthen,
Oh,
like
okay. Yeah.
small butchers.
Did you
But
check
yeah,
underneath? Did you check underneath the table in case they'd passed out from protein deficiency?
well, maybe that's where they were. Yeah,
Okay. So you
perhaps they
said,
were looking for some vegan food.
yeah. So you said that you watched the YouTube videos and you made the decision for yourself. But what did your friends and family think once or your, yeah, once you'd told them that that was your decision and that, how did you get them all on board or some of them on
Uh,
board?
Yeah, well, like I say, pretty much everything in that, most things in the house are vegan anyway. I mean, certainly meal wise, we have, vegan food. So like family wise, it's just, I decided to do it and that's it. I mean, there's been no real issue, but like I say, some are vegetarian, some are vegan. But yeah, absolutely fine. More than supportive, to be honest. Very supportive.
Brilliant.
Like my wife is just, she'll always, like I say, we going on holiday or something, she'll always look for vegan places, restaurants and everything like that. So I mean, yeah, like my mum don't really understand about what it actually is, but so yeah, just give me cash for Christmas, cash for Christmas and things like that, and just get your own food then. So I think people just don't understand what it actually is, do they?
There is
they
quite a lot of
think,
that. Mm.
yeah, they just wonder if you can eat coffee, drink coffee, or some,
Yeah.
random things. I don't know what they're thinking. But the thing is, it goes to show people don't, they go into the shops and they just pick something up and that without a thought of where it comes
Yeah.
from.
Just autopilot, isn't it?
They do it
Yeah.
because they've always done it like that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I say working people's hours, just go on I mean, sometimes I say I'm vegan, I try to drop it in there if I can, but and then he just gibber on about it when he had a beef dinner or something on the weekend, without a thought, do they, So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone's been good, really.
That's
That's
amazing.
good.
I was again surprised, like I said before, I expected worse reactions of people, just because of what you've seen online, what I've seen online. But well, for me, anyway, I don't know what other people might be different, but I've not had a ton of certainly not abuse or anything like that. I just the usual questions and things.
That's really good.
Yeah.
So do you feel so it was 3 years ago you said you actually
3.5.
3.5. Did you feel anything like changed for you, like physically or mentally?
You think I'd have all the answers when you were listening to all your episodes twice. I can't really go around claiming I've had some miraculous health improvement. Although I'd say I have got more energy now than back then.
Right.
That's interesting.
But I'd say I got more energy, and mentally wise, not really. No, it's pretty much the same. No worse. Certainly no worse. But I'd say sometimes I'm thinking, I'm out the door by 7 a.m. for work, and I'm home cooking food. It's housework, and there's the dog to walk. And then I don't stop till gone 9. Well, so I'm down here a lot until 9:30 or something sometimes. So I got plenty of energy. Again, no protein deficiency. So
that's a long day. That's a lot.
It's a long day.
Jeez.
Well, yeah, I've always been running around and being pretty active. Not fit, and not like a vegan runner or nothing like you guys, but yeah, I no problem with energy or nothing like that.
That's good.
Fantastic.
Good. All right. What's the best thing about being vegan?
Well, it's knowing well, it's a cliche one. It's just good to know you're doing your best. Like you're doing your best you can practically in a world that's 98% not vegan, and so yeah, I'd say that's the best thing. Just knowing you're doing what you can. Because I think the change starts with people on an individual level. There's no point tutting about something, saying, "Oh, this rainforest getting ripped down," and you know, the animals are getting treated like shite, you know, and getting killed, and not doing anything about it. You got to be, you know, you got to be proactive.
Mm.
So yeah, so
100%.
that's good. I mean, yeah, if you, you know, I say if you can choose to be kind, then why not? If you can choose to not, or you know, minimize your impact on the world, you know, then if you can choose to live like that, why not? You know. So I mean, everyone's got struggles and whatever, and got probably got, you know, probably got things on their mind, you know, more important things probably to them. But if you can do it yourself, then you know, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, you're doing as much as you can for the animals, but you also, you know, you've got a clear conscience as well, haven't you then?
Yeah,
So,
as best you can. I mean, yeah, you're not gonna eliminate everything, eliminate, you know, deaths, because deaths come with growing crops. But you obviously, you
mm,
know, you're reducing it, so you know, by a massive amount. You know, you're not calling for all our land to be taken
mm,
away. You know, I just think, well, if everyone was, if everyone made the effort to be, you know, vegan, how much land could be bloody
Mm.
rewilded and taken back?
it's
It's just
incredible,
simple,
isn't
isn't it? Really, in my eyes,
it?
it's just simple. You know,
Not
all
long.
the chicken shit and everything that goes in the rivers,
Yeah.
and all the cow crap and it and that.
Mm.
So I know it's not maybe as simple.
Have you seen Cowspiracy?
Uh, yeah, I watched it on YouTube, but I didn't watch it all in one go. So
Right.
I was a
Okay.
bit sort of fuzzy when I was on my break.
Right.
When I was on my
There was
break, I watched it
the
in
bit that
bits, so
got
I can't
the
get
bit that
stuck
got
into it.
the bit that got me on that was about how um you know the amount of land it takes to rear animals,
Yeah,
and then the amount of land it takes to grow your own crop, grow your own
yeah,
vegetables in your garden sustainably, not sustainably, but you know, economically for your own family. It's like it's insane that like the percentage of land that we use for just to
Mm.
grow or graze cattle, to kill
yeah.
cattle, to feed people, when we could feed the world like 8 times over. It's just madness.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go. So what's your favorite vegan product at the moment? What's your go-to food, clothing, whatever?
Well,
Beard,
I
oil?
haven't mentioned I haven't mentioned Greg's, have I?
Ah,
Because being a bit, you know, being a plumber, you know, you gotta, you know, you don't need to miss out. You know, they got the sausage rolls, and they got the breakfast sausage rolls. There's always some sort of slice there, and
Yeah,
yeah, and I always have a big old. It's always a bloody laugh in my house because they trying to get them to make the coffee properly, because they got the soy milk and the oat milk now.
right.
hey, in Greg's.
But yeah, for the lattes and cappuccino. Yeah,
Oh wow.
you can have. It was only recently they put the oat milk in,
Yeah.
Oh,
but
wow.
yeah. So yeah, I'm trying. I gotta teach them sometimes how to do it. The people, but I don't like to tell them how to do their job. But yeah, because it pisses me off sometimes, because you ask for the latte, soy latte, and they only put the one bloody shot in, like one espresso shot. But
Oh,
like, I don't, I'm too polite to say, oh, you know, because it's supposed to put two in. So you get it, and it's like, oh, disappointing. It's a bit like a challenge, really. I go and I go there in the morning, and then it's like, right, I've checked the hot counter. Have they got the breakfast sausage roll? And then, you know, so it's a success then when they put you giving you two shots, and then in your latte, and then they giving you, and then they got the breakfast roll. Because sometimes you go, then there's bugger all there. But
oh, wow.
I make a point of that, and say, I make a point to say to them, you know, if they haven't got the sausage roll, breakfast roll, I say, oh, you got any on the go, you know. And just to make a point that it's, you know, there's people that want it, you know, but they
Yeah.
don't always. In some branches they haven't going, so they haven't got any. So, you know, I try and make a point to say this, you know, people do want it, but it must be not just people that's vegan that want, you know,
Yeah.
meat-free products. Obviously vegetarian, you know, some
Yeah.
people don't eat pork. So I don't know. Yeah, we are. But anyway, not just that. I got a little list here, actually, a few bits. But
Yeah, go for it.
yeah, but yeah, I do like I just recently tried the Nomo chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's really good. I think it's the best I've had. But also, and yeah, before that, I was having the grow chocolate. Have you tried that? The grow
Go up, yeah.
hazelnut.
Oh, you like that one, don't you, Wes?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, but I was down there this evening. Actually, did not. I think they may have got shot of it, but I don't know as they do. But
I
yeah,
hope not.
no, that's a good one. It's not a bad price as well.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
I think
Novo,
I really like the Co-op Grow range. It's really good stuff.
Yeah, it's a bit hit and miss, depending which one you go in.
Yeah.
The bigger ones, obviously, yeah, they hold a better range. But yeah, also the Mabel's Yorkshires, as you always said about Mabel's Yorkshire puddings. There was a nice little place in Barry, a little deli, Carrie's Deli. It's called Carrie's Deli, but unfortunately she shut. And she used to do the Yorkshire puddings. Used to get the little like the frozen prawn type things. And then like at Christmas, she used to sell the little seitan roasts and things like that. So unfortunately, that closed. It wasn't in the best location, probably really, but yeah. But also there's another place. Another one I like is like if you're gonna eat vegan cheese, you gotta have a really nice one, I think. But yeah, there's one called Satsuma Pips that she used to sell. You probably still go in. Obviously, they just sell them to small places, or I presume you can buy it offline. But that was like made from like cashews and various nuts, I suppose. But that was really nice. I mean, it's just as good as any cheese I think that I used to eat. So I tell you what I like as well is is VFC. The VFC stuff. That's good. Yeah. Again, in Heron, you want to get if there's a Heron near you.
Really?
So it was 2 packets of the VFC stuff for £1.
No.
Yeah, I know, it's unbelievable. So I had about a dozen packs.
£1.
Now Googling where my nearest Heaven's Food is.
Yeah. So again, some are better than others because I travel around with my work a bit. I nip into. I'm on Google looking where the nearest place is.
Oh my word, there's one in Oldham. There's 2 in Oldham.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
There we
Like
go.
I say, some are better than others, and it depends when you go.
Okay.
Luckily my wife's on the Facebook group, and she always sees like the manager posts stuff when it comes in.
Oh,
so I just run down there quick.
Love that.
So yeah, I've had like Ben and Jerry's and all sorts, like dirt cheap, like £1 and things like that. It's nuts. It's brilliant down there. Anyway, yeah, that's going off topic a bit, but yeah, squeaky I like. Yeah, that's all really nice. I think the squeaky bean,
stuff.
Oh yes.
It's not the best, but I mean you can get it on offer or when it's reduced, grab it. But so yeah, and I'm gonna want to give a little mention for your mates, the one that does a CC style, the
Greg.
wallet and the belts. Yeah, is that the one with the egg banjo, isn't it? Is that the one?
Yes.
Oh, good knowledge. Good knowledge.
Yeah, I got a wallet and a belt, so
brilliant.
both really good quality as well. So yeah,
excellent. Oh, that's great news. Great news. We'll tag them in the post so that he that's awesome. Okay, good. Right.
Praises.
That's excellent.
On Instagram.
I did see that you'd posted you did post about him, didn't you?
Yeah, you got to support the local. Well, not locals either. British.
Local for me. Yeah.
The farmers. Well, the obviously he's vegan and little small business, so give him support, and his things are good.
Excellent. Okay, right, Dave. As you well know, we don't pay for the full version of Zoom, so we're fast approaching the 40-minute mark. So if it's
40 minutes,
yeah,
flies
flies by,
doesn't
doesn't it? Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, let's hear it. Play the Elwood's advert now, is it?
That's it.
Do I listen, Wes?
Yeah, I don't.
He's got you there, Wes.
I've got no comeback because you're
No.
right.
No. Okay, right.
Yeah,
well,
he's put the Elwood's advert by you.
play Elwood.
There's nothing better than a hunk of prime Labrador steak, wonderfully marbled. And that is almost entirely dependent on how it's produced. Elwood's organic dog meat has complete control of this entire journey. So I'm here at Elwood's farm to find out a little more about it.
Welcome to Elwood Farms.
Thank you very much, Elwood.
I hear you do a bit of barbecuing.
I do a little bit of barbecuing every now and then, yes. From a chef's point of view, consistency is key for everything.
It doesn't matter if it's a Rottweiler ribeye, a Pyrenees mince, or a Lab sirloin.
You can always tell when the dog comes from a place where it was well reared. And every step has to be right, doesn't it? Oh, you should see these guys. So, from an Elwood's point of view, there's complete traceability.
Absolutely, unrivaled traceability, so it's fine.
Every single piece of dog meat.
Yeah, from pub to farmer's market.
Everything the dog's been fed.
Everything about it.
For each dog.
Yeah, only Marks and Spencer's and Whole Foods do this.
Where else can people order from?
From elwooddogmeat.com. That's ELWOOD dogmeat.com.
For top quality meat from dogs for people. Meat that's local, sustainable, and humanely harvested. There's only Elwood's organic dog meat. They seem pretty friendly, don't they? They're more responsive to me than my kids, to be honest.
Coffee with milk, please.
We only have plant milk, is that okay?
Stop! It's not okay. And if something like this has happened to you, you need to call me, Seymour Loudermilk, right now. If you've had your feelings hurt by a vegan, you could be entitled to compensation.
Oat milk, soy milk, almond milk?
No thanks. I'll have louder milk. And I'll see you in court.
Get more with Seymour. Call 866-HATE-VEGANS. HateVegans.com.
What advice would you give to someone who's thinking about going vegan?
I'd say to get look into it a bit more. Obviously, they've thought of Barry anyway, but obviously maybe watch some documentaries. Earth and Ed's a good place for little snippets. But obviously, because to me, it's like some. Like my mind just changed. Like once you realize it's just you just realize then you've got to do it. You had to do something. You just realize this. It basically boils down to if you like I said earlier, basically if you don't need to harm any animals and to help the environment and everything, which in my eyes includes animals as well. Then that's a big part of it because you've got the motivation already. But anyway, when it comes to food and everything else, really, and swaps, I think do what's going to be you think's most sustainable. Like to me, I wouldn't say it's done overnight, but yeah, just do whatever you think is more sustainable for you. You go on.
Yeah.
Do what's most sustainable for you. I think I decided it's not pretty much overnight, but it was a quick thing really, to integrate as much as I could, the vegan products and vegan meals. So if you think it's going to take you if you're that sort of person, maybe you would rather take it step by step, do it. Obviously, the animals need you, but if you think it's going to take you a while and that's the way, and you're going to stick to it like that, then do it like that. If you're going to chuck out all your meat and everything else and do it overnight, then basically long and short, just go for it and immerse yourself into it.
Yeah.
you know, just look at different recipes, look at the different food to get. You know, once you've gained the knowledge, it's not hard. It just becomes part of life then, because you just know what's vegan and what's not. Then you just learn a bit more, and you just, you know, you go to a shop and then you pretty much just whiz around there like you used to. So
Yeah, I think you're right though. It's about when what you said there about
It's all about finding what works for you, isn't it?
Oh,
That's the key thing.
yeah,
um,
yeah.
okay.
I think what you said there about when the light bulb goes off and you realise what's actually happening. If you change that way, if that's the way you made the decision to go, I think it's all the light bulb has happened and you're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
I think it's when I think the other side of that is the difficulty we all have in getting into a conversation with somebody, and then they're like, I get what you're saying, and I think I might want to change. So what do I do? They haven't had the light bulb moment. I think you've got to have immersed yourself in something to get to that point.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
and that, you know, everyone's going to be different. I know that, but I think it's all about a moment that just goes, oh shit, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I've got to do something about it.
Yeah. And and then once you realize, then, you know, because you just become passionate about it then. So it's not really a hardship. To me, it wasn't a hardship. So, and like I said, I think earlier, you know, the food I've eaten better than I ever did.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I did used to cook, but I cook a lot more now. And I say you just don't miss anything, you know. So go for the simple, you know, maybe a good way to go is go for the simple swaps, you know. So if you got a chicken curry or something like that, you just swap up the chicken. And most of the rest of it really is vegan anyway. And just take it meal by meal. Like I say, immerse yourself into it, and it'll all fall into place, really. That's what I'd say.
Yeah.
That's it.
But obviously, it's not just food. You know, there's other things as well. But again, it's I mean, for me, I don't use a lot of toiletries, so it's pretty easy. But yeah, you know, once you know where where to get tough paste from, and things like that. Well, give me some tough paste and shower gel, I'm fine anyway. Me, but obviously, women and people might like to want to make up and have more fancy things, they might take a bit longer, but it's growing now, isn't it? You know, it's not that hard now because everything is there now, and it's just so much stuff now, and everything's just there's more and more products coming on the market. The labeling's getting better, so just gotta tough it out. You know, I mean, it is easy, but it's still. Don't get me wrong, there are hard parts to it as well. But you know, you just gotta tough it out, and then just remember you're doing it. You know, you just got a little bit of sacrifice in this. And I mean, it's not a big sacrifice at the end of the day. But you know, if it's a small sacrifice, you know, people are so small. People just want things instantly nowadays, don't they? It's you know It's just, you know, it's a little bit of. I mean, people chuck kids down the mines and you know up the chimneys and everything years ago. It's like we never had it so easy, have we? You know, I mean,
true.
It's a small. It really, you know, once you got used to it, you know, your food and everything. It's not really hard.
Yeah.
But I say, especially once those initial few months are out the way, you happy days really.
Completely, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to love cheese on toast. I've sacrificed that now. That's gone.
Yep.
And I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm still alive. I'm still cracking on.
Yeah.
Jelly babies for me.
I said
But I've moved on.
Yeah.
No
I
worries.
didn't mention actually that I used to be into my fishing, like with my dad. We used to go fishing a lot, you know.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't go as much as I would have liked to. Obviously, I'm not anymore. But you know, that was a thing I had to change as well. You know, but you can't, it makes sense, doesn't it? You can't be vegan and go fishing. Like, and people have said, oh, you can still go fishing. You can just put them back. There's no, you can't. You can't go. You can't hook them in the mouth and chuck them back. And like I've seen what they're like. You put them back and they float off down the sea or down the river or whatever. Sometimes, not always. And people do try and do their best, but you're always gonna injure the fish. It's still cruel anyway, even if it went back unharmed, isn't it? But as well as that, even if you try your best, you're always losing fishing line and all the tackle, the hooks, and as well, and like the bait, you go and take, say, you go fishing. There's fuck all in the sea anyway, and then you go with a packet of squid, a couple of mackerel, and come home with nothing else. So, kill the fish, and worms and everything. It's like it might just think, well, just leave the fish alone. Exactly. We're causing enough shit. I mean, it's probably a drop in the ocean, no pun, but it's probably a drop in the ocean. But you've got to do your bit, haven't you? So
yeah,
that's it.
I dropped that in because I didn't mention that earlier. But
no, it's fine.
I don't miss it because it's not something I want to do anymore. Anyway,
And you can put the worms back in your compost heap.
Exactly. Do better now, aren't
That's it.
So who's your vegan inspiration?
Well, I obviously mentioned Earth and Ed. I think his style is great. Because he's got so many videos out. Even I haven't watched so much YouTube now, but I mean, there's plenty of videos, and they all just make sense, But he was a big he was pretty much, like I said, he was there. He was the first video I've seen on veganism, and there's him. But I don't know if I have heard you mention Cliff Grant.
Yeah,
before.
He's great.
Yeah, he's good as well. He's growing a lot. His channel's growing a lot, but his style is pretty good. I mean, anyone that's vegan, is just inspirational, because they're doing their bit, like I say, and even if like me, they don't do any activism, you're still inspiring people. I think even if they're not going, even if they don't get it like we do, even if they don't get it, we're still buying stuff. We're still creating the demand. And obviously maybe one day we'll do activism and speak out or whatever. But you just do you just got to do your best. It's don't be I have heard people say online, like people who like vegan people, and they've said, oh, it's just being vegan is a neutral standpoint, and it's like it's a non-effort or something along those lines. And it's like hang fire. I've like I say, it is easy. It's not too hard nowadays, but at first it is, and people are struggling more than I ever did. To try, people in certain situations, family circumstances and whatever, trying their best, and I like I say, I don't have a problem with talking with people because most people have been all right, to be honest. But
well, you said that you don't do any activism, Dave, but your Instagram is Welsh vegan allotment holder. So people who are looking for information about allotmenteering are going to see your profile, and they'll also see the bit that says vegan. So anything that you put on there is reaching out to people who aren't necessarily vegan. So it's still some activism. And also, going into somebody's house, they offer to make you a cup of tea while you're doing the plumbing job, and you say, no, it's right, I've got my own soy milk. And then that starts a conversation, doesn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, I do try and drop it in, and I do, I try and talk as much as they're prepared to listen, really, because obviously I got to respect their customer. I don't work for them. I work for a company, but still, you know, you don't want to. I'm in a house for 2, maybe 3 weeks sometimes doing the bathrooms, and you know, you don't want to have a funny atmosphere. But if they're, you know, a lot of the time they are intrigued. You know, they might say, "Oh, you got an allergy or something?" Or I say, "No, I'm vegan," and then they might say something then, or they may say something later.
Yeah.
And just so your milk with you.
You know,
Get
again,
out. Send me a real plumber.
It's breaking them. It's breaking them stereotypical norms, isn't it? Like the big manly tradesman. You know, the tradesman job that you have, and you're going I'm vegan, and it's like, oh wow, okay.
So you probably looking at me, you wouldn't think I was vegan. So, but obviously, you know, now, you know, in 2024, you know, it's not hippies and people with hemp sandals and whatever it is. You know, anyone, any sort of person from any lifestyle can be vegan now. So
yeah, I'm trying my best to do that hemp sandals and hippiness, but I just haven't got the hair.
I'm all for hippies, yeah. And whatever you want to wear, yeah, fine by me.
I keep saying I want to be a hippie, but I don't really want to get stoned because I didn't like it.
No, me, no. But no, yeah, like you say, yeah, I am. I do, like you said about the, like Matt said about the, you know, it says vegan on my profile and everything. Yeah, so I do drop in little things on my story and everything, but I don't want to scare away the people. Either the people that garden, they must have a bit of an interest in nature and whatnot.
Yeah.
Just a bit of subtle hints.
Yeah.
Again, I could do more, but anyone can do more, can they?
Yeah.
How far do you go with it? But you just got to do your bit, and don't be ashamed that you're not doing enough. Like, don't get me wrong, they're brilliant. The people who do activism, whether or not they're known or anything, known or not, but you know, just you gotta, like that, like Sergeant Vegan said something similar. He said you just gotta have, you know, people doing it, bodies on the ground doing it. I mean, you know, and like I say, you know, the people around me have changed and stuck to, you know, eating pretty much vegan anyway, so it's all good then.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, what are your favourite vegan venues or restaurants?
Not Greg's on. It's not vegan.
The Greg's on the high street.
Top of the list got to be Queen Inn, because the Queen Inn, I'm sure everyone's seen that. I mean, that was probably up there with I didn't go there, the barn, wasn't it? But
apparently,
the Queen Inn. Like 2 or 3 times I've been up there, but yeah, amazing. You got like the last time I had like this kebab thing. You know, it's just like a kebab, well, better than the kebab ever used to be. It's just awesome. Like, and obviously my family I've been with, and their food, we've all had a taste of each other's food, you know. So it's just amazing. Like, and it just makes me like really chuffed, you know, when you see, you know, when you go somewhere like that and it's just, the food's just so good. You know, I just think, why the hell are we, you know, when you can make food this amazing, why the hell are we doing what we do, you know, as a world, as a race, whatever. But Vegan Inn, top of the tree. That's brilliant, yeah. But also there's a place, it's a pop-up thing pretty much called Vegan Filth. They've been to Camp Out, I think, I think this year they're going, or they are being one of the two, but they're amazing as well. Yeah, I mean, I've been there and it's just like, this is just amazing. It's just mind-blowing, like, and it's not any more expensive than going somewhere really than just a regular, like the Harvester or something, you know. It's just a similar sort of price, and it's just miles better, you know, and it's obviously all vegan. So
brilliant.
And a little place no one ever mentions is in Newport. There's a place called the Green Kitchen.
Okay.
It's a little takeaway place. She does. Well, I think I only popped in like when I'm in work, but I go and get myself a coffee there, and if I'm working in the area, and they do like little like pasties and little breakfast roll sort of things, and Oh god, the cakes are brilliant there. So yeah, that's really good there. And there's a little place in fact, no, there's there's one place in somewhere called Abertillery.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been there yet actually, but it's a little. There used to be a record shop. Well, they are a record shop still, but they've made it into a little vegan cafe as well. So I got to go up. I have to try that place as well at some point. But and there's another place in Barry called the Heavenly Vegan. There's another little coffee shop that's just sprung up as well.
Lovely.
So there's things coming and going, but yeah, I mean most places, they're just amazing, aren't they? So
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant.
So we're at the last question, Dave. And
that's the hardest one, isn't it?
the hardest one. So I was thinking about this, how we always sort of introduce this question the way we do, but obviously I realise that it's for any listeners just pop in. So obviously, me and Matthew were feeling a lot of that dystopia, the feeling of anguish living in a carnist world where nobody else around us cares. So we're trying to find it all the time. Do you have any hope?
Well, you got to try and be hopeful. Well, now it'll come good. I don't know, but you got to hope. But I think, yeah. I mean, when it comes to like the vegan scene, it's been snowballing, haven't it? You look in the supermarkets and there's loads of different things all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose I'm a bit sort of in a bubble because people just walk past. I mean, I used to walk past the vegan section and just think, oh, it's for some other people. Like, not really think, but yeah, I think it's snowballing a lot. Even if I am a bit biased or whatever, I think the vegan scene will grow. But I'm worried about the environment as well, to be honest. I mean, it's whether or not the vegan scene will grow. And obviously, just being vegan is not just everything when it comes to the environment, but it's obviously a huge thing. Will it be too, is it going to be too late, to put things right? That's what worries me. I think, is it going to be too little too late? Yeah. So,
that's one of my big concerns.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. I do believe it is growing, and it's not going to slow down, or it's certainly not going to go backwards anyway.
No, it's not.
But I say it's just when you see things, it just makes me chuffed all the time. You see, even just the word vegan on the adverts on bus stops and things like that. It's just amazing. But yeah, like I say. But yeah, on the downside, like I said, is it going to be things are going to go tits up too late, and everyone's just going to be scrambling over each other and just doing their best to survive? I don't know. That's probably very negative, I know, but that's right. That's the sort of conclusion I sometimes come to, really.
Yeah, I think the honesty is good. I thought, and I value that, because I think anyone that hopefully listens to this that is just having a think, or they're on the fence, or they've just come over to our side of things. Hearing the honesty about this is a scary time, and we need these things to start moving as quickly as possible. Yeah, hopefully that will just give them a little bit of a kick, get them on board quicker.
Yeah, like I say, it's just a little sacrifice for the greater good, I think.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the earth, is it, to just make a little change like that, and not just eating and being vegan. There's other things you can do, obviously, but even them as well, it's a small sacrifice to, do certain things, compost, whatever, like I do, and choose, plastic free where you can and things like that. Everyone it's a crisis point, and you can't piss around, like, perhaps people don't give a shit. I don't know. I just think, is there anything wrong with making a bit of a sacrifice for the future? Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
So,
And in a lot of ways, it's not even a sacrifice, is it?
no, exactly. Yeah, I say that, but
But
no.
that's how people see it, though, isn't it? They think, oh, but I'm
Yeah,
going to give up so much. And actually, once you get into it, it's just a whole new life, isn't it? It's just incredible.
Yeah, it's better. I'm chuffed. It's better than it's miles better being vegan now than not. But for loads of reasons.
Yeah.
1,000,000%.
If only they could see.
Yeah. If only they believed us when we told them.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much. I say, Wes, you said this before. You can tell I listened to it a lot. But there's so much crap there's so much disinformation, isn't there? And there's so many people trying to sell you the carnivore diet. Or there's people trying to say the climate change isn't real, and it's like they can't get, people can't see the real. They don't know what to believe, basically, do they?
No.
I mean, but in my eyes, look, it's not rocket science. You're breeding all these animals, feeding them, fishing the fuck out of the oceans, and what do you expect to happen? Like, even if you don't believe in climate change, that it's going to change. Look at we're taking over all the land. The oceans, buggered. I used to go fishing when I was a kid. There used to be fish galore. We used to catch tons, me and my dad. But the last few years of going, or probably since 2000 or something, you go home with a pissy. Well, it didn't go. We put them back, probably to die. But tiny, what do you call fish, basically. You go back with little undersized, basically, because they get a size limit on them. But you go back with tiny little fish. I mean, that goes to show there's nothing there, but obviously there's something there, but the collapse, the ecosystems are collapsing. So,
it's just not worth it.
But I mean, all we can do is, it starts from yourself, doesn't it? I think, you've got to lead by example, and that's what I try to do. Absolutely. And then, the more you get, the longer you the longer you're vegan, the hopefully people will see that it does work, and they might think, well, why do we need, like I thought, like everyone thinks, why do we need to kill all these animals, raise them and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, Dave, that's been fantastic. It's been so great to talk to you.
And you guys there?
Yeah, kind of face to face after all this time and all these messages back and forth. And I hope we haven't disappointed you in any way.
I look like.
Yeah. I hope we haven't disappointed you in any way. So thanks thanks so much.
I'll be okay. I mean, there's been bloody Jamie Logan and there's been the vegan queens, and then you got a little old me, but again, it's a multi-pronged approach, I think you got to have, everyone just doing their bit. So
that's it, exactly. We just want people to be able to find out how people live as vegans, whatever they do, on whatever their bit of, however veganism affects their life. That's all we're trying to find out. So
exactly. And as you probably know, I've said before, you're both doing a brilliant job. I mean, you're just committing this time every 2 weeks or whatever, so, and then the editing, your editing department.
Yeah, the editing team. Yeah. The art team.
No, but you're both doing great. So long may it continue, and until you have a tip full of it.
Cheers, man.
No, that's been great. Thanks so much,
job too. Keep growing.
Keep growing. That's a good one. I like that.
Dave is a legend.
That was an awesome chat with Dave.
I love Dave. He's well cool.
Yeah. Awesome chat.
Been wanting him on for ages, and he's finally made it.
Oh, we asked him so many times. It's great. He's finally come on. It was brilliant. Yeah. Fantastic. Really enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed it too, listener. And normally when I say listener, I'm thinking of Dave in Cardiff listening to us in his van. And now I got to think of somebody else for this one because he already knows what's happened in this episode. So some other listener. Hope you enjoyed that. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.